couple of quick ones before we go. I know you've got a busy day ahead, but the Deputy Prime Minister, he's not convinced. He argued in the National Party room against a target. So doesn't that undermine the plan?
So Barnaby Joyce has made very clear that as a member of a government, he strongly supports the policy. He's unambiguous on that. But, you know, it is right and proper that all regional MPs, I'm one of them, that look at this very closely and say for regional industries, most of this activity is happening, not all of it, but much of it is happening in regional areas. And so it's really crucial that all regional members are able to look at this, understand it, get their heads around it, and make sure that the regions and the jobs in those regions are being supported and enabled by this plan. That's exactly what it does. That's why we have support from the government. I mean, this is a very important step forward, Kieran, that it's a sensible plan. It's a plan that's in keeping with Liberal National principles, and that's why we have the support from across the Liberal and National Party to get on and do this in a way which strengthens Australia, not weakens it.
Many people in the bush will clean up in this new economy, won't they?
Well, there's opportunities there. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you look at critical minerals, you know, export of copper and development of further resources in copper and lithium and nickel and so on. In agriculture, look, you've got 90 million hectares of agricultural land that is a carbon sink and can be a much bigger one. We know that. It's very clear. And that just means more productive soils, regenerating our soils where they've been run down. Huge opportunity for Australia. That's good for farmers, good for Australia, good for the world. Let's do it.
I know you've been having a crack at Labor throughout our discussion. That's not a surprise, but I'll put it to you that argument will be diminished this election compared to last election. If you look at the New South Wales Liberal government, it's very ambitious 2030 target. The BCA's ambitious 2030 target, the NFF, the meat and livestock,
Kieran,
all these groups are now supporting ambitious action. So it's really going to not fly, is it, to be having a crack at an ambitious Labor target?
Well, Kieran, the only entity that signs up to an international agreement is a national government. That's who signs up. That's who's accountable. We choose to put out every quarter our emissions across every sector and every gas. Right? No state government comes even close to that. No corporate yet comes even close to that. Now, that's accountability. It's real. Now, Labor has to decide whether they're going to get real about this and how they're going to get real about it. The one thing we know about Labor is they can't help themselves. They want to be central planners. They want to tell people what kind of car to drive. They want to tell people what kind of food to eat. They won't be able to help themselves because the left is there. Jed Carney, the member for Cooper, she's out there telling people you can't have gas barbecues. This is how they think, Kieran. And you know what? That is not how we think, and it's not how the Australian people think. And I think that's going to be abundantly clear over the coming months in the lead up to the next election.